Welcome back to Basement Dweller Tabletop. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Vile Vectorum box set. Not a new one, but it's a goodie. It's got some great units for Death Guard Army. This is my New Year New Army. You're probably wondering, hey, it's May. What are you doing? Basement Dweller, you're out of your mind. What are you doing starting so late in the year? Well, there's lots of different starts to the year, and one of those is your April, beginning of April is the beginning of the new fiscal year, and an important activity happens at the beginning of that fiscal year. You do your taxes. So some people, when they turn in their taxes, they get a little tax refund. That is a great opportunity to take just a little piece of that tax refund and throw down and get started on a new fun army. So tonight I'm going to look through this box and show you what the sprues look like inside, what the contents are. We'll start off here. We got our instructions for the Fetid Bloat Drone, instructions for Poxwalkers. We've got our Lord Felthus, Lord of Contagion with Blight Lord Terminators. It's the min-sized squad of Blight Lords, and one, it's this funky dude over here on the left. One guy with a goofy face. And then some Death Shroud Bodyguard. We got our bag of bases. Ooh, stuck there. Lots of different sizes. 25 mil, a couple of 32s, and then a bunch of 40s. All the termies go on the big ones. Okay. This first sprue is a good sprue of Terminators. This is your Death Shrouds. I'm going to flip it over. Get a good look at that side. They got all those doodads. So there's not a ton of options on the Death Shroud. They've got the ability to do an icon, and then you could convert one of the guys into either a champion for the unit or a regular guy for the unit. So that way, if you do 6, which is two sets of 3, this is three guys on this sprue. So if you do 2 sets of 3, 4 guys are going to be duplicates, so 2 times 2 of the same sculpt, and then 1 modified version. And this should be our Blight Lords and Felthus. Comes with that Plague Spitter, some cool stuff. Blight Lord Terminators left a lot to be desired. Look at this side of the sprue. Some cool stuff on there. Again, probably not a whole lot of options for conversion. Now we're getting into, ooh, yeah, I know what this one is. This is your, gosh, it is your bloat drone with or without the heavy blight launcher. Got all kinds of funky bits and pieces, bobs. There's the engines, main body, half the heavy blight launcher. And also, oh, that's what this is. These pieces right here, right there in the center, that's your shreddery doodad. What the heck is that thing called? Tell me down in the comments. What the heck is that thing called again? I can't remember. And then, of course, all the tubules, all the fleshy bits. There's the heavy blight launcher. More death spitter, or more plague spitters. You can double arm this guy with plague spitters, or you can give him the heavy blight launcher. In 10th edition, the blight launcher has been an extremely popular option. It does a ton of damage. I won't say it's like strength 10, D3, D6 hits. It's an impressive weapon. It's been major output for the. It's another one. It's the second one. There's 2, and there should be 3 in this set. So we'll get the third box out of here. Here we go. Here's the third sprue. No. Same guy. Then we're getting into our Poxwalkers. And these guys, at first I was thinking that the kits were significantly different, but these are very similar to the push fit that you would get in the old main box, the old launch box that came with the Poxwalkers and the Plague Marines. Got a couple of Space Marines too. It was 3 Intercessors and 3... Oh no, that was the baby box. I got a couple of baby boxes a few years ago. It was like 3 Plague Marines and 6 Poxwalkers and 3 Intercessors and 3, what was that guy? Reavers. 3 Reavers. The classic Reaver kit. So again, this is the exact same. So there's 10 of these on each sprue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 20 poxwalkers. And then here are the bases for the float drones. Bases, woo, bases, cool. Cool. So you got 20 of the poxwalkers. You got 3 bloat drones. 3 of these dudes. Thelthus and his guys. That's 4 Terminators. Well, 1 Lord of Contagion, 3 Terminators. And then Death Shrouds, 3 more Terminators. Plus all the bases. So all in all, you end up with about, gosh, these guys, depending on how you arm them, they can be between 100 and 120. These guys are super cheap. It's like 65 points for 10. And then these guys, can't remember the Blight Lord Terminator costs, but that Lord of Contagion went up to like 120 points after all the nerfs and all the adjustments to points. And then these guys are about 160 for 3. So you're looking at, do some math here real quick. 360, 460, 480. We'll say these guys are probably 300. So that's 7, 8, 9. So about 900 points, give or take. A little bit around 900. So a decent box as far as points per cost. You still find a few of these guys floating around on the internet for between 200 and 220. There were quite a few of these made, but overall pretty good box set. Excuse me, shine there. So I'll tack this onto a whole bunch of Plague Marines. I've got 1 Mephitic Blight Hauler. I've got another 3-man squad of these guys that came with the what's it called? Battle Force box, the Combat Patrol box. That's what they're calling them now, Combat Patrol boxes. So you tack those guys in, and I got another 10 squad of the Poxwalkers and a couple of Rhinos. I actually used the Rhinos from Horus Heresy. I like the design of that way better than the current box Rhino. I ended up putting those Rhinos into some modern Imperial forces. I think they're either Grey Knights or Space Wolves or something. But I swapped those guys out for a couple of Horus Heresy Rhinos, which I'm super happy with. So altogether, this gets me just over 2,000 points with what I already have. Had a bunch of Plague Marines. Started off with some classic Plague Marines, and I'll show those. Once I get working on this, I'll start showing off some of those classic Plague Marines. I did some kit bashing, took the original Plague Marine, the original plastic Plague Marines. Let me clarify. I do have some classic metal Plague Marines, but the classic plastic Plague Marines were really kind of dumpy. They were really small. So I started slapping some extra arms on them from the current Plague Marine units. Took some of the special weapons, the Plague Spitter, and just kind of made them a little bit more fancy, made them a little bit more modern, so they mesh with the rest of my Plague Marines. Had a couple of the Plague Marines from the collector boxes that you could get. You open up a box and had 1 Plague Marine in it. There were some really characterful ones. Every one of those guys had a Nurgling on their base or hanging out with them somehow on the miniature. So that added tons of character for those guys. So they're great to tack into squads as one-offs. They can be like squad champions, or though they're not armed like squad champions, the Plague Champions have some significant equipment that's better than the basic Plague Marines. But there you have it. That's the Vile Vectorum box set. That's all the cool stuff inside. And over the coming months, I will be building these guys and painting them up. I'm going to be painting them up beside my orc army. So I'm not giving up on the orcs. There's still lots of orcs to paint. I'll be working on these guys. Got some progress on Battle Wagon. Now here's my Gazgul. He needs his base finished. And I've got orcs from every walk of life. So the orcs are going to be facing off against the Plague Marines. I guarantee the Plague Marines will be done faster, because out of the guys I have, I got about 40 or 50 figs for the Plague Marines. Only about 10 of them aren't painted, so that leaves me with about 40 that I've got to paint up to get all these guys painted. That's like 2 squads of orcs. It's a drawback with the Horde armies. They're lots of fun to play, but that is a hobby project. They are massive, and I've got to update all the bases on these guys. Finally got some bases. I got some 32 mil bases. I got to update all of my Ludas. Bunches of Nobes. Oh, Necrons are sneaking in there. But lots of these guys have got to get some updates. So there's lots of activity to do for these. But with these guys, I can just build them and paint them. It's ready to go. Though I do intend to do some conversions. I'll dig for those later. But these Poxwalkers, since they are almost identical to the ones that came from that older box that I already had, I'm going to be doing some conversions. I have, some of you guys have seen my Cadian army. I've got some Cadian bits left over. So these guys are going to be infected Cadians for my Death Guard army. So a little bit of animosity there with those guys. So I hope you enjoyed walking through talking about armies. I'll do this a little bit more often. I'm getting better equipment, better audio. Hopefully it's coming through clear to you guys. But if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Click the buttons down below for the YouTube overlords. Man, there's a lot of overlords. I forget. Get lost. Got the Warhammer overlords, the GW overlords, James Workshop. Got our YouTube overlords. Man, who do you listen to? Who do you follow? Oh well. How about nobody? Do your own thing. Don't be a follower. Make your own armies. All right. You guys have a great night. Talk to you all later.